Questions? Steady. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Questions, guys?
Yeah, just a quick one from me, Eddie. Were you perhaps a little bit frustrated that it took this long to get the rematch in place for Wood Warrington, considering that tonight, although it was very, very even and exciting and entertaining for a lot of it, we perhaps didn't see both of them at their
Yeah, I think probably the fight should have happened a year ago, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, we probably did a better gate than we did for the first fight tonight. I thought the atmosphere was sensational. I thought Leigh Wood boxed really, really well tonight. I think Josh Warrington's timing wasn't what it once was. I think that's expected. But I don't want to take anything away from Leigh's performance. I thought he boxed really well. Switched stances, was really awkward in there, very heavy-handed. I thought the last 4 rounds were quite frustrating because you could tell Josh had kind of had the soul beaten out of him, and although he was kept trying, ultimately he wasn't good enough to win tonight.
Yeah, and even going into the late stages though, even though Josh's attack seemed quite depleted, because he's always been famed for that intensity, was there a party that thought there could be another sort of twist in the tail?
Yeah, I actually thought, probably up until about the 10th round, I actually thought Josh Warrington still had a chance in the fight. I thought he hurt Leigh Wood to the body once, but as the fight went on, his power looked like it was depleting as well, and I felt like, if there's anyone going to get stoppage, it was going to be Leigh Wood.
Oh, cheers, that's something.
Eddie,
Yes.
can you just talk about how important those nights are for British boxing? Like, these two guys are pretty unique, but that was a unique atmosphere as well. You were saying a week that these shows are kind of your bread and butter,
Yeah.
but can you just talk about
Yeah, I just
how
don't
important
think you really see atmospheres like that anywhere in the world. I mean, other than local to here relatively. I mean, I know like Belfast, and next week we're in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to have 10,000 for Nunes Navarrete. I think that'll be wild, but it's just a bit different in there. But that's quite unique, where you've got almost like 2 football clubs supporting their own. And what makes the atmosphere so special in there tonight was like 1,500 from Leeds, the rest from Nottingham, the songs going backwards and forwards, the ring walk, the production was great, Diamante was on great form, the lighting, everything looked really, really good. The fight disappointed a little bit on the closing stages, but I thought Leigh Wood boxed really, really well, and the atmosphere was great.
Eddie, we saw a Dave Allen tonight who said he was going to do something, and then he went out and did it.
Yeah.
I had a chat with Jamie Moore this week, and he said to Jamie, I'm not going to listen to anything you say, I'm just going to go and do that, and then he went and did it. So, obviously, when Dave puts his mind to something, he can get it done. Reactport and TKV have now been sanctioned to do the British. Is there an inkling that maybe Dave could fight the winner, or are you looking at...
I mean, he did do what he promised tonight, but he also did what he was supposed to do, which is to go out and just destroy a guy that was kind of a level below him. To be fair, that guy's done a few 10 rounds for the French heavyweight title, but Dave is a big, big lump. He's 20 stone, and when he hits you around the back of the head or the top of the head and actually lets his hands go, he's a real handful. But he doesn't tend to always do that in the big moments. Again, against Makhmudov, same kind of thing, but it's another level. It's a big, big gulf between the 2 opponents. So tonight was nice. It was probably the best atmosphere for a 6-rounder I've ever witnessed. And everybody loves Dave Allen. And I said to him tonight, you've got 2 choices. You can go back and headline in a 50-50 fight, or a fight that you're an underdog in, or you can have a step up from tonight and go back on an undercard and just build towards that fight. He actually prefers the latter, because I just think Dave lacks a little bit of confidence, and I think sometimes he doesn't quite believe in himself at that level, which is a bit frustrating, because I think actually he is a handful when he actually lets his hands go, but I think sometimes he just feels like I think he doubts himself at that level. So I'd just like to get him in the best, I would say, physical condition, but ultimately I'm not sure we're ever going to get that from Dave Allen. I've kind of half given up that we're going to, and I actually think sometimes the lump that he is tonight, I think sometimes he's more dangerous at that weight. Sometimes he gets himself fit and doesn't seem to have the same, I don't know what it is, but I love Dave. I just think he's just amazing, and people genuinely love him. I think that there's only so much you can get away with. Like tonight was okay because he had a 12-round war with Makhmudov where he took a lot of punishment. So you get away with a lower level fight, but you can't just have 5 of them. If you want to have another 8 or 10 rounds, there's got to be a step up. But when you gamble, that will be his last big gamble at that stage, and then he must be ready to win.
I've just got two questions. So the first question, would you advise Josh Robinson to call it a day, or do you think he should go on?
I think it's a very sort of personal opinion. Like he was really down tonight because he said I trained so hard. Like in the gym, my sparring was great, my times were great, my strength was great, and you know I just couldn't make it happen. And I said to him, well, that's because Leigh Wood boxed really well, and that's also because you're not quite the fighter that you once were. You're still a brilliant fighter, but your timing's a little bit off. And if someone boxes like Leigh did tonight and gets the game plan spot on, then you know you're going to be frustrated. And sometimes there's an activity. These guys aren't quite fighting as much as they used to. But I think Leigh deserves the credit for that. You know, he boxed really well. Like I said, he switched stances. He looked very heavy-handed in there tonight. Probably, I said, you know, maybe once to the body. Josh landed a decent shot, but other than that, you know, it was a pretty straightforward victory. Even though his face doesn't suggest that, you know. But sometimes when you fight Josh, you know, it's a physical battle, and it was a big win for Leigh Wood tonight. And on that, welcome Mr. Wood, and questions up to Leigh and myself. Crack on. Raise your hand. You get a microphone.
Obviously, congratulations on the win. We saw the tension sort of cool at the end, and there was some mutual respect between you and Josh. Do you think that was perhaps, you know, after the heat of war, that was perhaps always going to happen?
Yeah, you can't really explain it, but once you're not long for 12 rounds, yeah, I think you view each other differently. You know, got my respect, especially after 4 rounds, getting some good shots, and I thought, you know what, you are tough. And just catching the tail end of that conversation when I walked in then, like, oh, you know, maybe he's tall, maybe he's not quite what it was. I think I boxed a better version of Josh Warrington tonight than I did the first time. Fitness, strength, and all the rest of it. He was a little bit more cautious as well. You know, I think if I'd boxed this Josh Warrington that time, I probably would have had a hard fight. But we knew him better. We knew his time better thanks to Leigh and Ben. You know, looking at it.
You mentioned that you found him a little bit cautious. Is that something that surprised you about Josh tonight?
Yeah, a little bit, because I thought I'd be able to catch him a bit clean. I did earlier on, and he thought, I'm not going to give you them. And then he was a little bit more cautious, so my shots weren't quite there. I had to make little adjustments, and he made adjustments as well. Hurt me to the body, I think it was the third or something, really early. Really hurt me as well. But I hurt me to the body as well. We had the conversation already.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, Leigh.
Thank you, mate.
Doing your style, what you came in with, yeah. Did you plan to do it that way? Hands down and boxing elusiveness. You know, we know the style
Yeah,
we've done.
Everyone will look at that like, oh, hands down, but it's not so much the hands down, it was the principles. As we'll talk about, you know, letting him go on my time. He wasn't so much, oh, hands down, elusiveness. That wasn't it. It's the timing, telling him, going on my time and telling him when to go, being ready. It was more that power my hands down. But I'm part for this approach. It was easy to have my hands down, relax, to see shots come in, set shots up.
Leigh, congratulations. You touched on in the ring, inspiring the next generation, what Carl Froch did to you. Like, there would have been so many kids in that crowd watching at home, watching you. Can you just expand on what that means to you, what you're maybe doing in the community to inspire the next generation, and how important that is to you?
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. I'm a patron for Switch Up Boxing, which is not just inspiring kids to follow my footsteps. It's also a place that like brings young offenders into the gym and gives them a second chance. So like kids will come into the gym, Switch Up, and they've got loads of employees ready that they work together with, and they're giving them a second chance. So if they've done something silly, got caught up in some trouble, they'll get them into work. So that's another important thing that I'm part of. The inspiring people, like you said, when I was a kid, I feel very lucky to have been part of Carl when I was at the amateur boxing club, Phoenix, seeing win a world medal and seeing bit by bit fill that arena, fight by fight, a quarter of it, half of it, then eventually all of it. I remember in the stands screaming, looking around when he boxed Pascal and thinking, I'd love to do this one day. And same when I went to Sheffield and I seen Kell Brook do it with Eddie, who was Village Centre, and then at the Motor Point as well. So I feel lucky to see how they adapted and took it in the stride, helped me. So I wasn't starstruck when I come out, like, I'm not used to this. So I feel fortunate to be a part of that and seeing that, and hopefully there'll be fighters that are coming through and see what I've done and help someone their way as well.
Leigh, I just wanted to ask you a bit about mindset and resiliency, because there's many other boxers out there that have probably had a few losses and maybe would think about quitting. What made you push through?
It's a hard question because I just do it. I just do it. And I'm going to be really honest tonight. I didn't think it was going to be possible. I really thought I was going to nail him, but like I said, he made adjustments. When I caught him early, I don't know if he worked on camp, you're going to be there for that, so you need to be careful or hurt him early and made them adaptations. But I thought it was going to be an inside 4-round job, and people think I'm crazy, but because of the setup and how I've been sparring and that. But like I said, he was very cautious, so after 4 rounds, I thought, this is probably going to be 12. But I couldn't, like I said, looking back now, I'd have made more adjustments and probably gone to the body by the by. But yeah, so mentally, I was round by round, I'm going to do 12. I didn't really expect it. Part of the mentality, you have to just crack on. I had many injuries this camp. I had nerve damage on this and that. I've known about it, but I just crack on. I always have, and as long as I'm boxing, if I'm boxing, I'm not sure yet, but I just do that. I crack on. That's probably how I got to where I am.
Sorry, Leigh, when you look back at your 2 fights with Josh, obviously the wins, but the atmosphere, the memories, I imagine it's just a feeling of pride between you two.
Yeah, some career he's had as well. The run he went on, Selby, Frampton, Galahad, that was part of Galahad's gym as well, so I know how good he was. So credit to Josh, like I said a minute ago, he's inspired so many young kids coming through, young fighters. So yeah, is that not yeah. So what was the question again?
Just like, when you look back at your 2 fights with Josh, I imagine just feelings of pride.
Yeah, sorry, like I said, yeah, so he's inspired a lot of people, he's done so well, and same for me, we together, it takes 2 to tango, together made them big fights and the big atmospheres, and even Sheffield Arena was balancing, but tonight was an incredible atmosphere, it takes 2.
Leigh, congratulations. What do you think means more this second win on Forest eventually staying up?
Hopefully, it gives them a bit of push. We had a win the other night in the Europa League against a good team, 3-0. So Liverpool tomorrow. I'm going to take the kids, I'm going to like me for it. But we're going to the Forest game tomorrow. We're going to get some food after. So we need to win tomorrow. It's a big game. But we've already beaten them away, so I'm sure we can beat them. I've got one.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
To Eddie, your best Leigh Wood memory or favourite night?
I think it's always going to be so difficult to beat the Michael Conlon fight. I think it's just, that was just one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. Warrington one was up there as well, but actually it was probably the Kanzu fight, right in the garden at the fight camp, because we brought Leigh Wood in really you remember what happened?
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, basically. We were what we were doing is we were setting up Josh Warrington against Kanzu, right? And listen, it wasn't just cannon fodder. It was like, wow, what a great chance for Leigh Wood. He beat Reece Mould in the bubble, in front of nobody, obviously, because we're in the bubble, and that was like, people don't mind me saying, well, I paid 17 grand, 20, 15 grand.
I didn't get that though, but
Yeah, well, I know you did for me, but if you had to pay your team, just want to make that clear. But that was, and you were like the fifth fight down on the card.
Let me just tell you, that's after that fight, winning that British title is the best. Nothing's trumped that. Yeah. That's the best feeling I've had today.
Yeah.
Even though there was no one there.
But you don't forget that, I always say it, but you got beat by Gavin McDonald for the super bantamweight title, where you had done at the weight in Hull. And really, as far as I was concerned, your career was over. And Carl Froch always used to say, oh, look out for him, give him, any space for him on a card, or, blah, blah, blah. And even before that, you went through such a period of bad luck and almost rejection as well. You were supposed to fight on Carl Froch against Butte, right? And we overrun on time. We wanted you to go on really late because you were from Nottingham, and you ended up not fighting.
Right? I don't like to say bad luck, because you may look a guess, but that didn't work out, and that didn't work out. It's like, how many beatings can you take? Yeah. And then,
but then you popped up. But then you kind of popped up for the Reece Mould fight, and I looked at the fight. I thought that's a good fight, and that was that was back and forth in that fight. You could have lost that. I mean, it was going both ways. It was a brilliant fight. You stop him, and then it's like, that was great. He done well there. Let's give him a chance against Kanzu. And actually, yeah. But what happened was, when you headlined there in the Garden, you won the world title, and then the Conlon fight you were a bit kind of unlucky in the sense that, and I won the purse bid, didn't I? Was it a purse bid?
Yeah,
I won a purse bid. That was unbelievable. That don't happen very often.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you, it was also a lot of money. I remember that as well, because I won the purse bid. I went, oh shit, did I? But that fight was incredible. And but even like the Maurizio Lara defeat, then coming back and getting a victory against Lara in Manchester, your story will forever go down as one. Like, life is amazing where you literally are done with no way back, and then all of a sudden, and I won't call it luck because you made your own luck, but just one little opportunity, and then it's like boxing's a game of snakes and ladders, literally, and you go. And when you go up that ladder, and then when you get beat, you come down the ladder. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you've done it all on you. It's one of the greatest turnarounds I've ever seen in boxing.
Do you know what? I sat in my bath in Sheffield. I was 30 years old. I was still living in my mum's room, mum's spare room, box room, and I was thinking, right, like, I'm 30, like, I'm not getting my chances, not getting my opportunities, and I was in good gym, and I thought, what should I? And I thought to myself, but I could go on a crazy run and win the British, that European world title, and I could go on a crazy run and not lose and do all that. And I thought I could. I didn't think I would. And then thanks to Leigh, moved down to Ben and his team, and I did go on that crazy run. And it's quite surreal.
But everyone always said you had talent, but I don't even think those people expected you to go on and achieve what you did. So well done you, well done Ben and Leigh.
And a big thank you to Matchroom as well.
No, thank you. Listen, you.
Thanks for the opportunity, then.
Well, listen, you always. Hold on. Well, that's just the first thing he said.
I want a world title. I've got one.
Yeah, and what what Ben said? Ben said, I bet Josh Kelly got paid a lot less than you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben. But no, thanks for the team, and a word for Josh as well. I don't think he's, but again, like, just phenomenal. I mean, you've been on a run, but that run he went on as well. Selby, Frampton, Kiko Martinez, getting beat by Maurizio Lara in the bubble, Kid Gallagher. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and both incredible. So good to see you guys. Whatever you choose to do, you know that you're going to live a great life, and the example that you've set to people in Nottingham, and of course, more importantly, your daughter looking at dad, knowing hard work gets you to where you got to. So, congratulations, Leigh Wood.